Sir, you're welcome back.
Thank you.
You have held different positions in the police force. People out there would like me to ask you this question. Sir, what are the obvious and non-obvious discriminatory practices against the female police officer in the Nigeria police force?
Well, they're all obvious. Obvious to me, because I was in the system for 32 years. But to an outsider, they are not obvious. One is that in the police, under the police regulation, if a woman is married, she cannot join the police. But if a man is married with 27 wives, he can join the police. And somebody, I ask somebody why. Just because she's a woman. She has a role to perform as a mother in this country. That must not stop her from getting the job of her choice. If you're a married woman, you can work in Ministry of Works, you can carry TV camera, work in a television house, but they say police no. That is discriminatory. I think that is not enough. If a lady finds herself in the police and is recruited, she must remain unmarried for 2 years. So even if she's the most beautiful lady of her rank, and many men are falling heads over her, she must not say yes. She must not get married for 2 years of her life. Discrimination. To add more insult to that injury, now she wants to get married. The regulation, police regulation, asks that you woman, you now want to get married, you are 2 years in service, and you think you can get married, fine, you found a man. We want to know that man. Police will ask you, bring that man, let that man apply that he wants to marry you. But no policeman has ever applied to the police to marry 20 wives. But the man who wants to marry the woman will apply. Or rather, she will apply. And it's a man who wants to marry her. Then the police will ask the man to come. Let us interview you. Let me see your teeth. Are they yellow or red? You have K-leg? What is your job? And the man feels embarrassed. He leaves her. She remains unmarried. And she's hurting.
So you mean this is the process a female lady passed through before getting married?
Even today, if one wants to get married, these questions will be asked. It has not been changed.
Is it by law or by practice?
Law and practice, there is police regulation. That is the guiding principle of policing. It is there and it is working against the women. Apart from that, policemen, they are given different numbers. Excuse me. The rank and file, they have numerals which they wear. I think on the left or right or whatever. I think left or so. On the left, breast pocket. That of women, there must be O0 before the number. The men don't have that. So when you see the 0, you know it's a woman. And if she's a sergeant, she must be woman sergeant. Why? But the rank structure in Nigeria police, constable, corporal, sergeant, inspector, up. Woman wasn't included. But when it comes to a woman, they say, put it that you're a woman inspector. You're a woman. And I tell you, the one that gets on my nerves a lot, I've seen other services. Their female counterparts wear earring, stud, small earring. That makes, once you see somebody with earring, in this part of the country, you believe it's a woman. But our own, no earring, no powder, no cortex. She mustn't be beautiful, she must be ugly. That regulation is wicked.
What are all those things have to do with the security of life and property?
No, I'm talking about it is what you have that you give. The comfort you have is the comfort you give. If somebody has not been treated fairly, if somebody's rights have been removed from him, from her, or from him, if somebody's rights have been removed from him or her, he will never feel happy. And so he cannot be happy to serve other people because himself has not been treated safely, fairly. So he can't expect it to be fair to others. So treat the policemen well, they will treat everybody else well. It is action and action, action and reaction being equal and opposite. Police didn't invent that. It's been Newton law for many, many years.
So, like you said, these practices are still existing. So, what can be done about this discrimination to have a better society?
Yeah, I think in 2011 or so, the Nigerian police enacted a gender policy. They adopted a gender policy after so much criticism when the whole world rose against them. They did that, but it's not yet in operation. It's there on paper, but its activation has not come, and that's been so many years. So if it's activated and women are treated well and policemen generally are treated well, I'm sure they'll give up their best. In the police regulation I mentioned earlier on, women were asked to do only clerical duties: incoming register, outgoing register, to cross children crossing when they are going to school, to become orderlies to females, to record statements from female suspects, sedentary, to answer telephone, hello, hello. That's why you pay somebody so much money to do in the police regulation. But of recent, police began to realize that they were wasting manpower. Women were not allowed to train under arms, drill under arms. But recently, police began to have the understanding that some riotous situations will require women. So they began to train women in the mobile police mobile force. Began to train women in the counter-terrorism units, because some terrorists could be female. You need a female officer to counter them. So the police began to wake up from that lethargy. But don't forget, it has not been our police. It has always been what they call Oyibo man's police, because we're not giving our police the law to work with. There's no police act that is indigenous. It is only recently, under this, is the Ninth Assembly, that they've passed the police act that is homegrown, engineered by Nigerians, that will give Nigerian police the proper legal environment to work with.
So I have love for security, and I've argued this to some people, and I used to say that if Nigerian police issues is solved, 50% of Nigeria problem is solved. Is that true?
Well, security is fundamental. That's why part of our constitution mentioned that the security and welfare of the citizens shall be the primary purpose of government. It mentions security first before welfare. Without security, you can't give welfare. What is welfare? To provide light. What is welfare? To have roads. What is welfare? To have schools, have food, have hospitals. Can you have a hospital where there's danger? Can your TV be on when there's danger? Can you move around with your handset as a means of communication, welfare, when there are people to snatch the phone from you? Security is primary. It's a fundamental need of every human being. So, and the Nigerian police is the chief operator in the internal security space. If you get the police, train them properly, make them professional, and they're able to be effective and efficient in providing security for the government and the governed, then the government can provide welfare for the governed. So if it is well with the police, it will be well with Nigeria. Take it that way.
Thank you so much, sir. Nice meeting you.
Thank you, sir.
Meet you again.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right.